My methodology is chaos. Watch this. Hi, Internet. I'm back for one episode only. I'm pretty sure you're still recording. Are you recording? See, look at that. Chaos. It's hi, my name is Phil, a.k.a. Punxsutawney KJ. I'm here for one episode. I'm going to see my shadow, and then I'm going to disappear again. But our boy's not feeling too great, so get well soon, Jay. We love you, obviously. Keep resting, keep recovering, and then be back here so I don't have to come back. But hello, welcome to another episode of the Proper Gaming Talk Show Digital Dive-In. Damn, there's only two of us. Shit.
I know.
Panda and monkey, panda and monkey, panda and monkey, panda and monkey. Welcome to the one-time panda. Well, actually, I guess this used to just be the show, I guess.
It really was. It was so just me and Jules or you and me for like the longest time.
So I guess welcome back to a throwback episode when we came back as the Proper Gaming Talk Show. Hello. Yeah. How are you guys? I'm here with my man's Sandsology, a.k.a. Patrick, a.k.a. Bitch, a.k.a. Hi-Fi Wah. I'm assuming you wanted like a Waluigi sound.
That works, I guess.
I don't know what else you were doing. Why is it Hi-Fi Wah?
It's like Hi-Fi what?
I should have asked. I didn't. Like I probably should have. Oh well, fuck it. We're here. So what are we talking about today, G?
So, as my name suggests, we have a couple topics today that kind of flow into each other. But Hi-Fi Rush shadow dropped by Bethesda, Xbox, and kind of took the world by storm. I mean, it kind of blew up and got dumb reviews, and everyone was playing it. And it just came out of nowhere. Like, I didn't even know that Xbox Dev Direct was happening until way after the fact.
Well, that has to do with your own bias because you don't have an Xbox console.
I mean, that's fair, but it's also the fact that, like, I didn't see any advertising for it on, like, you know, YouTube or Twitter, or there's just no advertising. I was just like, okay. And then, like,
do you follow Xbox pages on Twitter?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I follow Expert. I follow Xbox. I follow Phil Spencer. I follow all those guys. Okay. Through the channel, and that's how I interact with everything on Twitter is through the channel. So
okay.
So yeah, it was just weird that I didn't see anything, and then this game dropped, and I still had no idea. I was like, "What is this?" And it's not every day you see a rhythm-based action not fighter, but like an action game.
This is an action adventure game. It looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks super fucking cool. Like
it does look very cool. I'm actually I'm gonna download it when we get off the episode or off the call, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna download it because it actually looks right up my alley. It looks really fun. I fucking adore the art style already.
Right. Right.
Rhythm games and me usually don't get along. I was never the Guitar Hero guy. Rock Band, not for me. And there's a lot of action games now, especially shooting, you know, BPM and what's the other one? My man's Metal Hellsinger.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rhythm-based shooting games coming out, and I understand why the next option, I guess, or choice was to go just a straight action adventure. That's another kind of easily comparable gameplay model to kind of just transition to. So it makes sense, and the game looks sick.
It really does. It looks like a video game for video game's sake, and I kind of miss those games. We keep having like these big, huge budget AAA games that like are just huge epics. And once in a while, I like to sit down and just play a game, just to.
Well, that's the thing again, though, man. I think that goes back into your kind of like, I don't want to call it a bias, but a preference. Yeah. So. What console do we both have? We both have PS5s, and Sony is known for narrative action games. That's literally the entire MO of that, you know, that brand almost. You know, you got your Gran Turismos and whatever, your shows, other games and other genres, but we're used to big narrative stories because as that's the console we own, that's the only option we're really used to for exclusives and things that are just for us, you know. I spent all of last year talking and gushing about God of War, and then Cyberpunk came in, and that's exactly what you're talking about. Cyberpunk, it's big, it's an epic, I put a lot of time into it, but if I wanted to, I can mainline it, 12-hour campaign.
Oh yeah, so, probably.
That was a video game for video game's sake. You know, everything I did was on my own time, on my own choices.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you there. Like, for me, like the video game for video game's sake that I really like getting into are like those kind of like those indie games or like those like something like Uncharted, for example, like something that I can just get in, play, and just have a blast with. Like that's one of the reasons I recently I re-downloaded BioShock Infinite because I like those linear games where you can just run in, jump in. You don't have to like spend 5-6 hours to do anything. You can almost like get in and do half the game in like that time. Yeah. So it's nice. I like those games, and this game looks really, really nice to, just jump in and have a freaking blast with and just mess around.
Yeah, like especially once pandemic hit and a lot of people really reignited their love with gaming, in my opinion. Games in my like Ghost of Tsushima, which is an epic at the same time as a video game for video game's sake.
Kind of.
DMC. I don't want to call it DMC because there is a DMC, so Devil May Cry 5. But there was a lot of like just fun action games and Animal Crossing stuff, fun, farm sim. Yeah. There was a lot of games that were just coming out during that time that were just fun, They're just, and not to say video games aren't fun. Yes, God of War is fun, while it is also an epic and it's a masterpiece and all the other fucking buzzwords like you use for it. But this game, like, it's not. I think fun's a bad way to put it. It's not gritty. It's not dark.
It's not like an experience game.
No, let's just call it what it is. It doesn't look like a fucking bummer. It just doesn't look like a bummer.
It doesn't look like a depressing story or just.
I am so fucking sick of seeing every game in sepia tone. This game's bright. Right? It's loud. It's colorful. That looks fucking sick. I just ran through Sifu. One of my favorite parts about Sifu were the colors, and I just got so tired of just seeing gray or pales of gray or neon. No, dog, give me an actual environment. Give me actual, contrast and textures and things that I want to take in. One of my favorite scenes, and I don't know if it's a spoiler, Sifu's damn near a year old, came out almost a year ago this week. One of my favorite levels is the museum. When you get to that room with the swinging pendulum of paint, you're just fighting, and the paint effect is just getting on the enemies and then spearing on the floor. It's the little things, and this kind of has that kind of vibrant art style, just like Sifu. And it looks like a blast. I guess is the most important thing. Like that trailer happened, and then they were just like, "Hey, you want to play it? Go ahead." And then you get into the idea of shadow drops and how they really are just kind of swinging the industry. And I didn't think about this until I was doing some research. Do you remember what the last, I guess, real big shadow drop was?
I actually don't. I was trying to find it, but it couldn't.
Apex.
Oh, I guess that was a shadow drop.
It was. No guess. It was. Because these are the guys that did Titanfall.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, no announcements, no hub, no pub. It was just like, Respawn released a battle royale today. If you guys want to download it, go for it. And I remember messaging, and this one we were still doing core digital diamond. Yeah. I remember messaging a trailer. I was like, did anyone fucking know about this? And everyone was like, no. And I'm like, aren't we a fucking gaming channel?
Because it just came out of nowhere. No one knew anything about it. And then all of a sudden, hey, here's a trailer. It releases in like a month.
Not even a month. It was literally the same day.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's right. It was. God damn.
Same as Hi-Fi Rush, Shadow drops. They're really kind of taking over. Nintendo, with their directs, and I think this is kind of where I don't want to say got the idea because somebody probably did it before Nintendo, but this is a recency bias thing for me. Nintendo, for most of their indie directs or just quick directs, those be like, yeah, here's a trailer for this game. You can get the demo. Or, hey, here's a trailer for this game. Exactly. You can play it now.
Exactly.
So we're seeing shadow drops are kind of becoming the norm of actually releasing games. And I guess, how do you feel about that, man?
I don't hate it. That's the thing. I really don't hate it. There's a couple games I think that would have performed a lot better if they were shadow dropped, like Multiverses. I think that game would have been amazing.
Absolutely not.
No?
No.
I think that would have been great if it just came out under the radar and everyone was like, oh my God, huge banger. What the fuck came out of
You can't shadow drop party fighting games. You can't shadow drop fighting games, and that was me trying to work a way around calling Multiverses a fighting game.
Yeah.
You can't shadow drop those because that's a really niche kind of
fair
genre.
I mean, so are rhythm games.
Is it? It's still an action game.
Yeah,
that's the thing at its core. It's not like they released another rock band, right?
Yeah.
It is still an action game at its core.
Fair.
So that's just easy to kind of just jump into. I don't think, and that's why Apex also succeeded. It's a BR. Yeah. Everyone fucking plays BRs, I think it needs to be a genre everyone loves, action adventure, just like Hi-Fi Rush just did. I don't know if every game or
I
big
would say
games can keep doing this.
Yeah, I wouldn't say big titles need to be shadow drop because that's like a kind of a bad business model. But like the smaller games that, like you said, are just video games for video game's sake, or like maybe some smaller, not lower budget titles. Because I mean, Hi-Fi Rush is made by the same guys who made Evil Within and Ghostwire Tokyo, so they're not a small dev. This is just a smaller project for them, which is wild to me. And I was just like, your next big thing after Ghostwire Tokyo, out there, like that game was fairly well received, and then they come out with this like less than a year later, I guess, and it's shadow dropped. And I was like, okay, interesting, but it does look like a much smaller budget game.
I've seen playthroughs and like they last like 5 hours.
Exactly, yeah.
So it just seems like a nice like quick experience, something that's kind of built for Game Pass.
Exactly.
You know, like,
yeah, almost exactly. Yeah, or like PlayStation Plus with them.
Well, we'll wait till we fucking get there.
Well, I mean, like they've done some like first day releases for like Arcadegeddon or
who plays that?
I mean, no, but I'm just using it as an example of. Like,
no, I understand, but like you can't compare the Sony issue to this with the Microsoft, because Microsoft is actually capitalizing.
Oh, no.
I still to this day think there's only been one game that's been released day and date with PS Now, and that was Stray. I'm probably wrong.
Or Deep Rock Galactic. That game kind of took off too.
Okay, so let me rephrase. There's only been one game of that's come out that's been day and date on Now.
Yeah, no, that's
Stray. You know, and that's
but
and
that wasn't shadow drop. That was just.
That was announced.
Day one,
but that's kind of my point as well. Like shadow drops are also risky. Like, yeah, we'd all be stoked if fucking Redfall got pushed up, but wouldn't you want to know it's getting pushed up?
Yeah, probably, because a lot of people are going to be on that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, games getting shadow dropped is a cool concept, but it's kind of still a gimmick.
Yeah, for sure. It's a really good idea to use for games that they are like, they might not know if they're going to hit well or not. So they don't want to put all the effort and money and spending into marketing for the game. And then like, either ruin or heighten the expectations, not knowing if they can pay it off, or I don't know, something like that. You know what I mean? Like they might not have had as much faith in the game, and that's why they shadow dropped it. To be like, hey, those who are going to enjoy this, because it is a rhythm game, and we haven't seen many like action-based rhythm games besides like shooters. So that's kind of a risk, to be fair. And they might not want to spend the money.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's also kind of niche, I guess. I mean, I'm gonna play it. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah.
And there's also one more shadow drop that I found that probably is like the biggest example of it. PT.
Oh yeah.
They didn't talk about that at all. It just ended up.
To be fair, that was a test though. That wasn't a full-fledged game. That was like a proof of concept type of thing.
Dog, listen, anytime people are buying whole consoles just to play a demo, it counts in my book.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Counts as a game.
It was a proof of concept that took off and revolutionized the.
It was a playable trailer, right?
Yeah, playable trailer.
Like playable trailer, playable teaser, one or the other.
Exactly. It was trying to hype up for the next Silent Hill game.
Don't explain this to me like I don't know what it is.
No, I mean, for people.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Might not know.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, internet. PT was the Silent Hill remake that Kojima was still attached to, that was going to start normal. PT is basically the reason why you guys got fucking Death Stranding.
Yeah, 100%.
And who do you used to work for? Kojima and Konami were like butting heads.
Yeah.
And Kojima was like, all right, fuck this shit, I'm out. And he left. And then he made the walking sim known as Death Stranding.
Yeah. That's getting a sequel.
Okay.
Walking Sim 2. More walking.
All right, I take. Someone's gonna have to explain to me why Death Stranding's so fucking important. I don't fucking get it. Someone's gonna explain to me why that game's good.
I think people played it specifically for like the set pieces and shit, because they were fucking outstanding. The scenes were incredible. Just the feel and the vibe of the world was
counterpoint. Watch a fucking movie.
Exactly. Like I just watched like the cutscenes. All right, I watched the playthrough from like Jacksepticeye of this when he did the whole thing. Yeah. And like 50% of the game is cutscenes. So I'm just like, what the shit? But that's just Kojima. It's like Metal Gear. A ton of that game.
But Metal Gears are fun. You're doing stuff in those. It doesn't look like you're doing shit in Death Stranding except for fighting blobs sometimes.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's a weird vibe.
But I don't know. There's a good chance we might be seeing more of these shadow drops in the future, or at least be seeing more like day one like releases.
I think we're going to continue to see that on Xbox. We'll have. Again, I don't want to hear anything about PlayStation Now or Sony until they actually start giving me day and date stuff to make me want to get that service.
Exactly.
Like, I know we'll probably get like Death Stranding director's cut on Now sooner or later, and we'll see it there. But you know where we won't see Death Stranding or any of the fucking sequels or any other new games? At E3. That's for fucking sure. We sure fucking won't.
Yeah, they pulled out.
What up? What up? It's your boy JayDubbs interjecting. What's going on, Digital Dive In? I think with E3 not having the big three corporations, I think we're probably going to see a lot more shadow drops, just because they do well if they're really good games. You know, if you have so many games that come out where it's just like, I want to play that right now. You know, and so I think that'll be good, because you won't have to put any money into marketing, which can be costly, especially if you're trying to do it on different platforms and stuff. And it just makes everything a lot cheaper, and allows you to put more money and time and focus on the development of the game. And I think that's one of the reasons why Hi-Fi Rush does so well, is because everything was put into making the game really good. You know, visuals, performance, you know, the input, you know, trying to make a rhythm-based action game. You could do it in a lot of ways that it's wrong and it fails and it's miserable, but they did literally everything right. So I think with the success of that, and you see it all the time, when something happens and catches fire in the gaming industry, people just try to pump that shit out and just try to, like, you know, catch on to the fire. So like, shadow drops have done well before. I'm not saying that they had never done well, but like, this is the latest example of that. And I think more and more companies are trying to find trendy ways to catch fire, because, you know, things are getting more expensive, and also things are becoming more accessible. You know, we got like stuff like Game Pass and subscriptions and stuff, so like, people still want you to buy the game, you know, but they want to try and find some way to make the game more successful. And sometimes, ironically, like the saying goes, less is more. So sometimes when you shadow drop a game, people are like, yo, what's this? Let me check it out. The good thing about shadow dropping is that when you shadow drop something and you say it's out today, you know, if there's any hype there, it's perfect, because you can cash in on the hype right then and there. You know, it's not like you put out a trailer for a game and it's like, all right, that looks hype, and it's just like, all right, that's not coming out for 6 months, and then the hype just slowly dies down the longer it goes. You know, regardless of whether you have, like, you know, promotion or not, it's just like the hype just slowly dies down, just because you can't get it right now. So it's just like, why am I worrying about it right now? Why am I getting hype about it right now? And then 6 months later, they might be hype about something else different, you know. So the good thing about shadow dropping is that when you get somebody hyped for something, they can get it right then and there, where not only is the hype is new and it's fresh, making it even more hype and making it more likely that somebody's going to cash in on it, because it's like right there. It's like a piece of candy, you know. It's just like, oh man, that looks good in the moment, and then you think about it 3 hours later, you're just like, maybe I could go without it. You know what I mean? So I think we might see a lot more shadow drops, just because we don't have the big three companies coming in and trying to pretty much get us ready for what's coming this year, because they're already going to do that on their own showcases. So I think it's just going to be really interesting to see what they do with E3. I think it's going to be good too. I actually really like I don't mind the fact that the big three aren't going to be there, because it gives more room for other developers and publishers to shine that aren't aligned with them at all. So I think that's going to be really good as well. It's going to be really, really dope.
Yeah, I don't know if it's E3 anymore. It might just be E now, because they lost the big three.
What do me the three big developers and E3 have in common? We both pull out. So yeah, guys, basically Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony will not be at the Electronic Entertainment Expo, or E3 for short. And I don't know if you guys remember the good old times when G4 where you would just see all of the E3 coverage. You would see every new game that gets released. You'd see all the interviews with developers. You see trailers, and it was something that hit different. It made E3 a need to get to for every video game fan. Yeah. And now it's dead.
And it's kind of been dead for a while. Like, we've talked about this on repeat for a while. Like, even like at our 2022 wrap up, my biggest disappointment of 2022 were the gaming showcases, because they were just meh. And we're like, okay, so every so often we lose E3 and it's supplemented with like 4 or 5 different summer game showcases. And then those are usually meh, but then we get E3 back, and that's also just meh. So it's like, because the last E3 we had was back in 2019. And that was like...
Was it 19?
I guess it was it 2021?
I thought it was 18. The last real E3.
Yeah. The last one in person was, I guess, 2018. And then it got canceled 2019. We didn't have it in 2020. Did we have one in 2021? I think we did. I think they did have one in 2021. But for whatever reason, they canceled it for 2022. Yeah.
There wasn't E3 in 2021.
Yeah. Yeah. But that one was like, we did a recap for it, and it was like they showed us some good stuff. I think Sony was still out of that one. They didn't even take part, but Nintendo and Xbox did.
I can't even tell you what they put on. Yeah. Genuinely, man. Like, I wish I could.
It was 2 years ago at this point. We can't remember last week. So
yeah, fuck your shit. Good Lion King. I barely remember what I ate for breakfast.
E3's been like kind of taking hits on hits for a couple years now. Whether they're like canceling shows because of COVID or just canceling because of loss of interest. And I don't really know if like they're going to survive just on third-party devs now. Like, is that something they could do?
No, it's not sustainable, because the third-party devs aren't their own consoles. They're going to have to go somewhere with this stuff, right?
Exactly.
And, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo gives, devs certain titles of them, but yeah, sure, you can take that to E3, I don't care. But they're going to hold a lot of shit back, and that's not going to be able to get trailers. It's not going to be able to garner hype. It's just going to be on showcases that we have to wait on Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft to give us. It also takes away the Christmas of it all, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, you're right, 100%.
There's no longer just one big thing that all gamers can just look forward to. Now we have to wait for these press conferences. We have to wait for these announcements, or fucking shadow drop fucking conferences happen too.
Yeah, seriously. Like, we got so many State of Plays, Nintendo Directs, stuff like that.
Didn't we do a video last year where Sony and Nintendo both did a game announcement on the same day?
Oh, basically, yeah.
And we had to do a fucking vid on just the 60 titles I read off.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, you know what? This sounds way more fun than E3, where I can just actually have a website that says, hey, here's the shit that's coming out. Here are the things that have trailers. Here are the things that don't have trailers but got announced. And there's just a more structured way to get the information.
Yeah.
And again, the Christmas of it all. I fucking like just watching shows with my homies.
Seriously.
I fucking loved just going on E3, having my friends come over and be like, all right, let's hang out, drink some beers, and see what games are getting released.
Yeah, that was fun. I love doing that.
Exactly. And that started the camaraderie with games. And I'm not saying it's going away. Yes, there's so many more ways to be social and a gamer.
Engage,
yes, I understand.
In the community.
But holy shit, E3 was just something different. And I kind of feel bad for people who didn't experience what we did. E3 used to matter a lot, and it just doesn't matter anymore if we're just calling it what it is.
No, I was just gonna say, I was always in the group that always wanted to go to E3 in person. Like, I would have killed to go to E3.
Same.
And now I guess the biggest showcase for the gaming community is going to be PAX.
No? VGAs.
Oh yeah, the VGAs, true.
What's the other one? The one that happened in the end of summer Game Fest.
Well, it was Gamescom was at the end. Summer Game Fest was at the beginning.
So Gamescom, then, that I guess would be the big one. But again, we saw Sony wasn't at Gamescom. I think Nintendo wasn't, and Microsoft was.
Yeah,
I think
Microsoft
that's all that
was.
right up.
They were at all of them. Nintendo, I think, just hung out and did their own direct, and then Sony's been doing State of Plays since COVID, and they just kind of got into that swing. And they're like, we're just going to keep doing this because it works for us, and we spend a lot less money doing it. So,
and I also understand that it is more cost efficient.
Oh, 100%.
Right? You don't have to build displays and hire help and hire teams and get all the demo stations out. I get it. But fuck you. Like, that was the cool shit. That's like, also why you want to go to E3, so you can try these games before they come out. And you can be like, holy shit, dog, I, for 15 minutes, had my hands on Madden 04. Holy shit, this is going to be the best Madden. That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
You know, or, you know, like, imagine, you know, us as a very small YouTube channel, but we save up the bread. We go to, like, E3 2025, let's say, whatever. It was popping, obviously. And we get our hands on seafood too, and we come back on our small rinky-dink YouTube channel. We can just talk about the fucking 10 minutes we had hands-on with seafood. And yes, I get it. You can get codes if you get big enough. We're not big enough. This was also an opportunity for a lot of people to start their own, you know, blogs and publishing and journalism. 100%. It was a lot of independence. Hell, isn't this how fucking Jeff Keighley broke through?
Basically.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, It sucks. It makes sense. We saw the writing on the wall once COVID hit, and we still got information. And honestly, I blame Nintendo and Sony for this because they had some absolute gas presentations once we got into COVID, and it is what it is.
Yeah, like one of my favorite presentations that they did, like this is one thing that I loved about E3 were like the big scale, epic, like announcements, like the one that we got for The Last of Us Part 2. That one was so cool. They brought the whole orchestra in. They got like the guitar, and they showed like the very first trailer ever in a room of like they built the whole freaking thing to look like.
You see, that's the opposite though. I hated that because they only talked about 2 games. It was The Last of Us and whatever the other game was, and no one remembers because everything was built like the fucking Last of Us.
I mean that's fair. They blew their entire marketing budget on that 1 or 2 game announcements.
And I get it. It's The Last of Us. It matters. It's fucking important. I get it. I do.
Yeah.
But again, like. I don't go there for the pageantry of one game. I don't go there to be sold one game. Well, go. I don't watch. Right?
No, I get it. I get it.
It's an expo, not Sony's bringing The Last of Us.
Yeah.
It's an expo. I want to see what everybody has. Yeah. So RIP to a real showcase. RIP E3. We will remember you fondly. I hope you come back at some point. Doubt, but I hope.
Do you think like, you know, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, do you think they even need E3?
No.
Realistically?
No.
Yeah.
They would have needed E3 realistically if we didn't watch any of those fucking conferences, but we watched. People like us made content. It honestly makes content easier because you don't have to fly a whole team out. Think about people like IGN and Game Ranks and Kinda Funny. Dog, they can just stay in their offices or at their own fucking homes and just report on all the shit that we all just learned about, you know? Like, it's so easy just to, again, and you know, that's the good and bad of COVID, obviously. We found a lot of ways to communicate with each other without leaving our own fucking homes.
Yep.
And say what you want, it is more efficient. It does keep people safe because I would like to remind everyone, COVID didn't go away. We are still in a pandemic, technically. Just saying.
Mexico's still wearing masks and everything, so.
I don't know what our demographic is for our viewers because we're small, but like if COVID's real, fuck you. Don't know what to say. So yeah, we're still in the middle of a pandemic, so that still is honestly very risky to even go to an E3 right now.
Yeah.
It's just it's a bummer. I don't really have much more to say other than like it's a bummer because I was fond of just seeing everything in one spot.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I agree
it's fine because it's spread throughout the rest of the summer, and yeah, that's cool because you don't have to do one big thing because that was also an issue.
Yeah,
but. You know, again, RIP E3.
At the same time, like we talked about like all the other showcases and them just being not the greatest.
Mm-hmm. So
it's like we're losing like that big quality showcase and we're getting replaced with like 3-4 kind of lower quality showcases here and there. So
I don't think the quality is lower. I just think everybody wants their own time in the sun, and I get it. Like I like that's the thing. No one's in the wrong. It just it all makes sense. It's just a bummer. That's all.
Yeah, but I mean, we can still look forward to seeing. That's the funniest part though, because we're still going to be seeing most likely Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo at the exact same time that E3 is happening, because that's the reason Microsoft pulled out. Because they already had their own Dev Direct scheduled for the exact same time as E3. So,
the exact time?
Yeah. They have the exact day of E3.
Dog, that's ignorant, bro, actually.
Right.
Dog, that's actually super ignorant. What are you going to do?
And to be fair, they probably scheduled this before they even got the dates for E3. So they're like, oh, PlayStation and Nintendo both had June Directs and State of Play, so we're going to hop on that train as well, only to find out, oh, yeah, E3 is happening that in June as also. It's like, about that. So we're still going to see everything, but it's just going to be kind of spread out amongst like 4 different showcases on the exact same day, which means we're going to be busy as fuck.
Can't wait. Cannot wait. I should be back by the summer. I have one note then. For all that is good and holy, I swear if I don't get my fucking Spider-Man 2 trailer this summer, I'm going to burn Sony down. I don't know. I'm going to fly. I'm committing act. No, I'm going to chill out before I end up on a fucking list. Let me chill out before I end up on a list. But I just have my fucking Spider-Man 2 trailer. Please.
Seriously. Please. Until then, we're going to give you guys some updates on the draft in a couple weeks here, since we got a couple game releases. I guess we're going to do it once each of us have at least one game that's released, since Hogwarts is coming out in a couple weeks. So that'll be on mine. But yeah, so far, Jules is in the lead, and that's surprising.
I know. No, it's not.
Not really surprising, but
I can't wait to be in second place.
Shut the fuck up.
I can't wait to be in second place. I just gotta outlast Jules. I can't wait. Because like Jules got some heat that's like low key. I fucking hate your list so much.
I don't know why you hate my list. My list is,
I don't know, dog. I don't like
good.
Dog, I don't know. I don't know.
I picked up a bunch of great games on the bidding, so
I mean, that's fine. I picked up better ones on bids. Honestly, I'm finna drop one of them and pick something else off a bid. There's one I'm not super fucking confident about.
Yes,
anymore.
Please do, because I want to see if you can only drop one game or is it unlimited drops. So I want you to be the guinea pig.
That's crazy that you just admitted that. Now I'm not.
Well, the thing is, I don't have anything on my list I don't want to drop, except for maybe the Last of Us multiplayer game. But
I only had one, but it's not even that deep where I feel like it's going to hurt me. I forgot about some other shit coming out that I can just grab instead. That's all.
Exactly. No, same here. But yeah, we're going to give you guys an update in a couple weeks. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be giving you some game reviews as soon as they come out. Jules is probably going to give us a Hi-Fi Rush review here in a bit. I'll give you guys a Hogwarts Legacy review. Probably live stream that game a bit because I'm hyped. And then, yeah.
I can give you a review real quick. Play Sifu. It's good.
Well, yeah. Definitely play Sifu. It's been out for a long time.
Yeah, I gave you a review. What the fuck did you want from me? I said I can give you a review real fast, and I gave you one. Play Sifu. It's good. Thumbs up.
It's an amazing game. Incredible game. Guys, what do you think about E3? How do you feel about the big 3, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo dropping out and doing their own shit? Did you play Hi-Fi Rush? What do you think about Shadow Drops? Let us know all your thoughts and comments and criticisms in the comment section below. We appreciate you guys coming out and watching us today. We'll see if Punxsutawney Phil saw Shadow or not.
All this.
Yeah. KJ has his own channel he's going to be putting up soon. Make sure that you go over to his channel and support him. It's going to be dope. It's going to be lit. Can't wait to watch that on repeat for a while. So, yeah, we're going to be doing a lot more collabs too as well. So be on the lookout for those. Be on the lookout for those. But guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, not subscribed yet, do it.
Yeah.
Stop waiting. We got a bunch of new subscribers. I love it. Thank you, guys.
Let's go. I need the outro here. Listen, everybody, I love you. Be safe. Make sure, you're getting some new clothes. Treat yourself. You work too hard just to pay fucking bills. Get some nice shit. But lastly, and most importantly, because I don't think I'm on next week's episode, and I want to make sure that this sentiment is well known. Go fucking Birds!
Go Chiefs. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Love you guys. Stay excellent. We'll see you guys in the next dive in. Peace out.